How can companies help their employees get ready for a future with AI?
Perfect, perfect. I think this is a really brilliant question, Kumudi. So I personally feel that there is a systematic approach, right? Which generally I also follow, and I would recommend all the leaders, and they might have their own perspective, right? So first and foremost is, see, company need to identify that we all are aiming for getting AI-enabled company. That's one part, right? Now, once we do that, let's be very focused on the typical KPIs for any company. So
Hmm.
whether it is CSAT, which is customer satisfaction, ESAT, revenue growth, and obviously EBITDA margin improvement. These are
Hmm.
typical, and sales growth, right? These are typical levers. Now, let's identify each team one core SME,
Hmm.
which is a subject matter expert, right? And that's when we will actually start coming up as a team, driving it together, identify one sponsorer, okay, who is actually coming up from top-down approach. I
Hmm.
personally feel, based on my experience, that AI or any new initiative which comes in, generally, if the top management is aligned, it becomes very easy for the entire chain
Hmm.
to support that and follow that and execute that, right? So once you identify the core team members, then let's start identifying the key use cases which should be purely tied to the benefit and what goal we are trying to achieve. That's it. So what goal, what is the problem statement I'm trying to address? How I will address will come later, and what benefit I will get if I address this problem. So
Hmm.
if these are very clear goal with a boundary, then everyone will come together. They will fall align. They will start aligning, including the top-down approach. And then if 5 use cases are successful, I am pretty sure the remaining journey will continue in the DNA, right? So that's the systematic approach I would suggest.
Absolutely, sir. Fantastic answer, sir. Do you think AI creates more jobs or does it take them away in your industry? And why is it so?
Yeah, this is also another good question.
Yes.
But I would say definitely yes, Kumudi, that AI will certainly create jobs. There is needless to say that. It is just that which skills the jobs are getting created. So
Hmm.
for example, say let me be very specific, right? Take an example of a data analyst or a data engineer, just for the
Hmm.
sake of discussion, right? Till now, rather, let's flash 5 years or 6 years, this role was very limited. Now it has suddenly come up into the industry and into the very space and limelight. It is just because people have started realizing the importance of that.
Hmm.
Similarly, whether it can be AI prompt engineer, whether it is AI scientist, AI engineer, who truly, but it cannot be just a functional role. That is what my reading is. They need to have some supporting tech flavor. And
Hmm.
that's where I said there will be, and they have started. If I'm not wrong, there is already a chief AI officer. Imagine, it has already started percolating, right?
Okay, okay.
So there are new roles which are definitely coming in. It is just that we all as a community should accept the change, first thing. Secondly, we should start working on that rather than resisting. See, now also when I talk to a couple of senior executives, I still feel that somewhere or other, some hesitance is there. And it will be there. It will take little time based on the respective domain, respective geography. But as and when they start understanding the power of AI and the cons, pros and cons, and now let us suit to your business. If you go very like this goal focused, I am pretty sure the opportunities are enormous, the job opportunities will be enormous, and the value that you will get, your company will get, is phenomenal,
Yes, yes.
right?
You just mentioned that some of the leaders are resistant to this change. Like in what aspect and why are they resistant?
Yeah, wonderful question again. So see, what happens is, Kumudi, as I said, a few sectors, whether it can be pharma sector. I'll go very specific. Last week in Mumbai, I was talking to one group CIO, and plus there were few IT heads, whether it is the app, infra, and security, compliance, and all, right? The point which they started off, being a pharma company and being a Fortune 10 company, okay? They had their secret, obviously, the medicine formulas, the recipes, the algorithms, right? They are very clear. We don't want to go to cloud. So even if we want in our data centers, right? So, and by the way, there are already few LLMs which are available, which can be hosted on-prem also. For example, there is an SLM model, which is called Hugging Faces, which is
Hmm.
there. But again, I would say that it is at a primitive level. We have to train them. And just to tell you very specific example of Hugging Faces. So we did again for one of the hospital industry, where if you have a website, you have a bot, and if you go and chat that I am getting my body is little hot, so can you advise that what can be the reasons, or what can be the my this one, what is that right word, what disease I can have, right? So immediately the bot, based on the various inputs, training models and all, it will ask me few pointed questions,
Hmm.
that how much temperature do you have, right?
Hmm.
Secondly,
Hmm.
that do you get the temperature from this range to this range, do you
Hmm.
get it from this time to this time?
Hmm.
Then it will suggest, do you have any allergies? All these questions. And then it will come to top two or three medicines which are generically available currently.
Hmm.
After that, also, if a user or a patient replies, I have tried all this, it is not working, then the nearby location physician will be recommended. So
Hmm.
that kind of AI use cases we are building. But the point I'm trying to tell you is that, see, this we are hosted in their data center
Hmm.
because of their confidentiality, their security, that kind of things, right? So that industry will also evolve, but I think it is taking little time based on their nature of business.
So perfect. Got it. Got it. Very, very beautiful insight.
Sure. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, Modi.
So nextly, I would like to ask you, what ethical issues should companies think about while using AI?
Absolutely. So I think, Kumudi, there are a few major areas which has to be thought of very carefully. So as I said, one can be the security, right? Second can be copyright. Third, honestly, can be the code quality, right? Fourth, the legal issues, the legal true issues of, let's say, any codes or any algorithms, right? That has to be very, very clearly weighted. And
Hmm.
last important point, any third party dependencies which are there
Hmm.
across the globe, right? That and all. So that is the reason I keep saying my line that AIs should be used, at least for now, as an accelerator, right?
Hmm.
Once you are accelerating, once your that model is also evolving, getting trained, then you go ahead and actually try to use it full blown. Yeah, so
Hmm.
those are the few ethical issues I personally feel that the companies has to take care of it rather than we blaming the LLM models, right? See, if I am the one who is using the model, I have to do my homework. I have to weight that the output and is it fitting in my ethical boundaries.
Hmm.
So if I do that, I am pretty sure companies will start making money multifold in a proper, secured way,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Such a
right?
broad-minded, very broad perspective, sir. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. In your opinion, AI is it a boon or a threat for the youth and the Gen Zs?
Yeah. No, I personally feel that it is definitely a boon. And needless to say, Kumudi, whether it is Gen Z, Millennium, or any of the generations, right? It has changed the entire way the people are working, people are thinking, right? So it is surely a boon. It is just that which area you are working in, which sector you are working in, what job role you are doing in, right? Now you start seeing what is there for you to accelerate, to grow, and to rise up in the ladder,
Hmm.
right? Provided you understand the power, and I don't know what I should say this. I'm sure you know the famous dialogue from the Spider-Man movie, right? The power, great power comes with a great responsibility.
Yes, yes. Absolutely. Wow.
That's a
Beautiful.
brilliant dialogue. Yeah, applicable for AI. Seriously,
AI.
I feel,
Absolutely.
right?
Wow.
That's good. I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah. So, how is AI changing customer experience in your field?
Absolutely. So, see, AI, again, I would say one thing that it depends upon the individual customers, individual cases, individual domains, right? And customer experience, how it is changing is first and foremost is the cycle time has reduced. Cycle
Hmm.
time. So, from the time we get a project to the time we deliver, that's one part, right? Secondly, there are various new frameworks which are coming in, which had made the entire creative space much more intuitive, much more attractive, much more impressive, right? And last and most important point, that the variety or the options that we get, which we generally can't think, Kumudi, as a human being, right? There will be a limitation.
Hmm.
That's the barrier which is broken by AI. And you really get the n number of opportunities. Like, just to tell you one small example, not directly on the customer experience, but it still indirectly or directly affects them. So take an example that I am trying to deliver a product for a customer, right? The design, simple example, the designs. If I want to give two designs, typically for a customer, UI design, right? I will have my BA and my UI UX designer, they work together, we give two designs, which is good. Now, using AI, literally AI has helped us to digest the customer inputs, give minimum 4 to 5 variations, and now on top of that, I use my creativity to really tailor it for my customer need. So
Hmm.
customer experience, how it is elevated is rather than giving two options, now I'm giving customer 4 or 5 options.
Hmm.
That itself, customer feels very happy, very privileged. The customer satisfaction goes really high, right?
Hmm.
This is, I can keep on giving you such examples, Kumudi, trust me. That ample number of examples are available that customer experience has really elevated with the AI accelerators.
So nice listening to your examples and all the beautiful theories that you say.
Sure.
Okay. Lastly, I would like to ask you how important is teamwork between humans and AI in your industry? And can you give an example of the same?
Absolutely. I think this was one of the interesting example question I would say. See, I would like to say one thing, right? See, human have invented AI. Let's be honest, right? And now AI is almost ready to do any layman's job, which is more of a manual job, right? Creative
Hmm.
thinking is still coming, but it is evolving, right? And more importantly, take an example, okay? That if I give a historical data of an insurance company, I train the model which is trained, the AI can predict the customer retention ratio. That's one part, right? But what next to do with that analysis, that is where exactly human comes in picture,
Hmm.
right? So whether I need to do a course correction action immediately right now, if I get a forecast that next 3 months my sales is going to dip, just for the sake of discussion, is going to dip in geography of assume North Assam. I'm an insurance company, right? North
Hmm.
Assam. Why don't I do the corrective action right now rather than after 3 months? I see and become reactive. That's the key difference, Kumudi, that AI will help all the leaders to be more proactive rather than reactive,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So that's the power, and that's when AI will help to get me the entire data set, entire forecasting, make me more powerful in my job. Now it is up to me to utilize that, utilize the platform, utilize the channel, and increase my customer satisfaction. And eventually, it is helping my employee satisfaction, right? I hope that helps.
Absolutely, sir. All the examples which you gave and how you talked about customer experiences, about how AI is affecting Gen Z in a way, but still it is a boon for all of the generations. And yeah,
Absolutely.
it was such a beautiful insight. I hope the listeners must also be getting a lovely insight and information from you. Thank you so much. It was a lovely podcast.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Kumudi. And I must say that interesting questions. And I am very happy to talk to you and the entire team of Bharat CXO Group. And looking forward for more podcasts in
Yes,
future.
sir. Pleasure, sir. Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you. Take care.
Take care, sir.
Bye
Bye.
bye.